Given the measures, measure angle A equals 121 degrees, A equals 12, B equals 10, can a triangle be formed? If so, solve the triangle. Well, first I'm going to sketch the situation. And I'm going to estimate that is around 121 degrees. And A will be right here, so this is measure of angle A. Now this over here is going to be side B, which is 10. Which means over here somewhere would be point B. And side A, which is opposite from this 121 degrees, is going to be 12. So let's say that is 12. Okay, now if a triangle can be formed, which I just drew a triangle, but at this point not 100% sure it's a valid triangle. This side across from A, notice it's longer than this side from B. And that means there is a valid triangle. And there's only one triangle that can be formed here. Now the reason why I say it's a valid triangle, if this side B was shorter than side A, it wouldn't reach across. So you would have a situation like this. Let me just draw a quick sketch here. Say you had a side like this, and this was a side length of 9. Okay, it wouldn't reach far enough to make a triangle. It would have to reach down here to this side AB somewhere. See, if it's 9, it can't even reach down to A, so you can't form a triangle. It would be somewhere up here. And you could rotate it back and forth, but it wouldn't reach far enough. Okay, so that'd be an example of where you don't have a triangle, but in this case, this 12 is long enough to reach down and form that triangle. So now we need to solve this triangle. And we know measure of angle A, we know this side A of 12. I'll just put A equals here. And this 10 is side B, opposite from angle B. And this would be point C up here. And this would be side C over here. So here's the triangle we need to solve. We need to find two angle measures, and we need to find one side length. And by the way, this is a side-side angle situation. You're given two sides and a not included angle. So this is what's called an ambiguous case. And it's called that because you don't know how many triangles can be formed necessarily. But in this case, only one triangle can be formed. So law of sines. Sine of A to A equals sine of B to B. Let's substitute in here. Sine of 121 degrees to 12 equals sine of B, because we don't know that angle B, but we do know the side length is 10. Cross multiply. 12 times the sine of B equals 10 times the sine of 121 degrees. So I'm going to find 10 times the sine of 121 degrees. .5717 when you round it. So now to solve for the sine of B, divide by 12. We'll do that on the calculator. .7143. And now to solve for the measure of angle B, I need to take the inverse sign here. So let's do that on the calculator. I'm going to do inverse sine, and then I'm going to choose second answer, which is going to bring up this whole decimal here. 45.586, so that's 45.6 degrees if you round it. Okay, so now we know this one here, 45.6 degrees. Okay, so now we know two angles of the triangle, and we can use the triangle sum theorem to find the measure of the third angle, C. So I'm going to say measure of angle C is 180 degrees minus 121 degrees minus 45.6 degrees. So I'm taking the 180 degrees, which has to be the total of the three angles, and then subtracting the two known angles. So let's do that on a calculator. $13.4 degrees, so that's a relatively small angle there. Okay, now the final piece to solve for is this side C. And we're going to use the law of sines for that. So sine of A to A, sine of C to C. Okay, now sine of 121 degrees, substituting the values, to 12 equals sine of 13.4 degrees to C. Actually, let me go ahead and label this up here. 13.4 degrees. Okay, cross multiply. C times the sine of 121 degrees equals 12 times the sine of 13.4 degrees. So first I'll find the sine of 121 degrees. .8572 if you round it. And then I'll do 12 times sine of 13.4 degrees. .78097. That's kind of a tricky round here. It's going to be 2.7810. Okay, now I'm simply going to divide both sides by 0.8572 to solve for this side length C. So 3.244, we'll just round it to 3.2. Okay, so we've solved the triangle. We found the two unknown angle measures and the unknown side length.